hmm Welcome back, everybody. This is episode 5 of Custom Battle Fun and Total War. This one is going to be a bit different. Instead of a custom battle, I'm going to play a battle they've already created for me. I got the idea randomly that like every, I guess, 5 videos should be one of one of the historical battles. And since most of these are Medieval 2 videos, we're gonna play through the Medieval 2 historical battles and then probably Shogun 2 ones. Now we're gonna start obviously from the earliest battle in Garway. Uh, make our way through to the battles. So we just gotta find the earliest year. Battle of Agincourt, 1415. That's pretty late. Arsif, 1191. Much earlier, but that's still like the middle. Battle of Hastings, 1066. That's pretty early. I'm pretty sure Battle of Hastings is going to be the one we're going to play. Uh, Otumba, 1520. That's really uh, late. Pavia, 1525. Tannenberg, 1410. And then finally, Setenil at 1484. So, yep, it looks like it's going to be the Battle of Hastings, and then it'll be Arstov after that, episode 10. If I ever do make it to episode 10. Let's read the description real quick. Battle of Hastings, 1066 AD. Shortly after the beginning of the year 1066, King Harold Godwinson sat uneasily on the throne of England. As well as the political machinations of various powerful families within the realm, political leaders on the continent, particularly in Denmark and Normandy, also had designs on the crown. Harold's predecessor, Edward the Confessor, had been a sympathizer of William, Duke of Normandy. Harold himself had been rescued from captivity in France by the Duke and had subsequently sworn fealty to him. These two factors, coupled with support from the papacy, gave Duke William reason to believe that when the childless Edward died, the crown of England would be his. However, amidst rumors of strong-armed tactics, Harold was crowned king on January 6, 1066, the day of Edward's death. Excuse me. Outraged, William began to prepare an invasion fleet to take by force the kingdom that he maintained was his by right. In the meantime, Harold was busy dealing with other threats to his realm. His brother Tostig joined with King Harold Hardrada of Norway in a concerted attack against York in early autumn of 1066. Harold marched 190 miles from Wessex to York in 5 days to defeat the invaders. That's like that's like marching an army 20 miles a day. Duke William's Norman fleet landed shortly afterwards on the south coast. Harold set off on another forced march southwards to challenge the new invaders. On the morning of the 14th of October, 1066, the two armies clashed on the Santalak? Sandy Stream Ridge near the present-day town of Battle in East Sussex. The subsequent battle and the seismic effect it was to have on the Kingdom of England led the Normans to rechristen the site Senlac Ridge, or Blood Lake. Yeah, Battle of Hastings is one of those interesting battles. Not just, at least for me, not just for the battle itself, but also leading up to it. And there's so many interpretations of Godwinson's accession to the throne. Could he have been what's the, I guess, a political machinator working behind the scenes to get crowned. Uh, I mean, it's possible that he could just be that everyone decided to make him king because he was Edward the Confessor's brother-in-law, and since Edward the Confessor had no heirs, they decided to put him in charge. Yes. Are you gonna be doing dishes or anything? True. Yeah. Anyway, but one video, you've probably all heard of this guy, Alternate History Hub. One guy mentioned, or not one guy, in his video, what if Harold Godwinson had not died and had won the Battle of Hastings? He said that Godwinson was elected by this like council of noblemen and church leaders. I kind of lean towards. I'm thinking I'm more in line of a mix of like he was kind of the chosen heir of. It was, I guess, the Watan, the council I mentioned, voted Godwinson because he was the king's brother-in-law and was also one of his most able commanders. After he joined his father in fighting against first rebelling against Edward for the mistreatment of the Godwinson family, he did a lot of fighting against the Welsh for Edward the Confessor, and even fought and ousted his own brother. Because Tustic was a real piece of work. He was a real piece of shit. And when it comes to the sworn fealty to William, in his documentary, Tony Robinson's uh, says it looks like Harold was strong armed into swearing fealty to William. So, but I can't go back in time and talk to them, you know? You know, I've probably, though, I'm pretty sure the point of Edward the Confessor promising the title to William the First, or William the Bastard. Pretty sure that's true, because Edward himself was like half Norman, or like more than half Norman, and spent most of his childhood before his ascension to the crown of England in Normandy. That's kind of like, excuse me, who do you want more on the crown after you die? Brother-in-law you were kind of forced to have, and you've had difficulties with in the past, or your blood cousin that you grew up with, or was around when your cousin grew up? Because William's like 40, in his 40s at the Battle of Hastings. I'm pretty sure Harold and William were both in their 40s. So that pretty sure Edward was older. What matters is that everybody has got that both of these parties have somewhat of a legitimate claim, and they're gonna fight about it. So let's fight about it. 3, 2, 1, go. Hmm. Oh, you can choose who to fight as. That's interesting. Uh, I'm gonna go with the Normans for this one, and then maybe I'll come back for Godwinson later. Or, yeah, I guess episode 10 will be Battle of Hastings Part 2. Let's see what good speech. Excuse me. Let's see what kind of speech old William can give.
October the 14th, 1066, Caldbeck Hill, north of Hastings in England. This land is ruled by King Harold Godwinson, the latest in a line of Anglo-Saxon kings. But Duke William of Normandy has a claim to the throne too. Years ago, Harold is said to have sworn to help the Duke to the throne of England, but he has failed to honor his oath, and now he rules as king. But the throne on which Harold sits is not a comfortable one, and Duke William's invasion is fortunately timed. Even now, Harold marches south from battle at Stamford Bridge near York, having crushed another invasion led by Harold Hardrada of Norway. Duke William was able to land unopposed, but now his scouts report that Harold's army is in sight and has formed a shield wall on a ridge crossing the Normans' Road. The position is a strong one, at the top of a gentle slope flanked by marshy ground, and the enemy appear happy to let the Normans come to them. The Duke has come well prepared for battle, and has many war-hardened infantry and horsemen. But if his men cannot overcome the enemy shield wall, they will have little choice but to negotiate terms or starve. Duke William of Normandy is no stranger to war, though. He knows that if there is no way around or through Harold's shield wall, he will have to find a way to pick it apart. The Anglo-Saxons are known for their fearlessness in battle, but perhaps William can use this to lure them from their position so that his horsemen can finish them off. The two forces are evenly balanced, but there are only two paths from this place for Duke William: to the grave or through the shield wall and onwards to the throne of England.
Alright. I will say, though, I forgot to
The
mention this.
Hussars on the enemy flanks are commanded by Harold's brothers. Killing them will disrupt our enemy's command structure. Launch an assault against them and cut them down.
Thank you. But I was saying, there were crossbowmen with William's army. I guess not a significant number, but at least one of these archers could have been crossbowmen. But there's probably just wasn't room, or they didn't really think there was enough to warrant that in the dev room. Yeah, a lot of fearsome weaponry. We've got.
Attack the Hussars on the Saxon flanks.
Shut up! I'm busy. We've got heavy knights in mail armor with lances. Both sides have spearmen, but only we have archers. Harold did have archers, just not at the Battle of Hastings. He didn't bring them to Hastings, probably because they were too tired from the march, and he just gathered what fresh troops he could. But he did bring his housecarls, basically just his household bodyguard armed with big two-handed axes. Something interesting about Anglo-Saxons is they're famous for fighting the Vikings, but they were basically Viking themselves.
Attack the Hussars on the Saxon flanks.
Shut up in the presence of your king! I am giving a lecture. As I was saying, the Anglo-Saxons were basically Viking themselves, even if they didn't have the long ships or whatever. Uh, they're the Anglo-Saxons are also a Germanic people. They come from, of course, northern Germany, aka Saxony. And they fight pretty much the same as the Vikings did. Shield walls, spears, big axes, limited number of archers and javelin users, and basically no cavalry.
Attack the Huskars on the Saxon flanks!
Silence or you will be flogged! I was saying, Harold did have archers. It was an arrow, after all, that killed Harold Hardrada at Stamford Bridge. So, I'm just gonna do a lot of... I'm just gonna pummel these guys with archery. I'm gonna pummel these guys with archers. Actually, I should probably start... You know, let's pause and group soldiers. It'll be easier to manage when I do come to blows with the Saxons. That should do it. These two, my bad. So yeah, I just thank God for this group function because it makes commanding big formations that much easier. Now I'm just gonna. This isn't real life. William did have time concerns, but I'm gonna just sit back and pummel them with archers the whole time. So I guess which brother is over here? Harold had a lot of brothers.
Harold's brother Leofwine has been slain. Without him to control them, the troops on the Saxon right should be easier to lure from that accursed shield wall. Attack them, then fake a retreat.
Thank you. I guess that's another point to bring up. Was the famed, or at least the first famed Norman fake retreat, false retreat, like a... Did he plan that from the beginning? Or did it happen that way that some of his men did rout and the Saxons did chase after him and he was able to turn it around?
Harold's brother Gurth has been butchered, weakening discipline on the Saxon left. Attack the troops there, then retreat to tempt the fools from their shield wall.
Thank you.
Attack the Saxon right, then retreat to draw them out.
Wow, that's kind of annoying actually. The guy just in your ear telling you how to fight your own battle. Okay, this is actually probably a little boring for you guys. Uh,
Attack the enemy's left. Then retreat to tempt them
Shut
to give
up!
chase.
Shut up! Let's make one big group of 4. That's the number of...
Attack the Saxon right. Then retreat to draw them out.
Did I say you could fucking talk? Gotta fucking fix up the goddamn... God damn it all. I should really have...
Attack the enemy's left.
I said shut up! I fucking said shut up! Jesus Christ.
Attack the Saxon right. Then retreat to draw them out.
Again, I said shut the fuck up. Fucking idiotic fucking backseat driver bullshit. If I wanted your goddamn opinion about how to run this, I will fucking ask for it.
Attack the enemy's left. Then retreat to tempt them to give chase.
Stop fucking talking and interrupting me. Okay, let's line the men up and get ready to actually attack. Now let's soften these guys up a little bit first. Sorry. Hey, here's a hint for creative assembly. If I'm playing a game like this, then I already know how the Battle of Hastings went, and I don't need to be fucking herded like a small child. The point of a video game is to play how I want to play, so you need to shut up. See, there's the famed house carls with their Dane axes. Big old... It's like more of a butchery tool than a weapon. It's like a big axe blade on like a 3, 4, 5 foot long axe handle. And apparently it could cleave through an armored man. By armored, I mean at this point, these guys are in like in chain mail with Gambison underneath. And could also really fuck up a horse, which is kind of sad. What, are you guys out of fucking arrows? Well, you guys are fucking useless now. Wow, that's fucking stupid. That's legitimately stupid.
Redden the earth with Saxon blood.
I want to see how.
No mercy. To kill or to die are our only choices.
Oh, shit. Alright, boys. Retreat!
Only intervention by the Almighty or a military genius
Okay,
can
I
bring us
might have
victory from this.
actually fucked this up. Okay, you guys are melee troops now because you were stupid enough to run out of ammo. Okay, I think I've actually fucked this up royally.
Lord have mercy! We've lost half of our men!
Come on. What the fuck? I was supposed to have this in the bag.
Our enemies may have won this battle, but they've not won this war.
Average defeat. Get fucked. Get fucked. Fucking average defeat. Fuck you. Let's go over to fucking casualty figures. Summon the calculator. Alright, so I lost 132 million by 13. Maybe I shouldn't be too mad. Because, like, Hastings was one of those, like, it could have gone any way. Like, it really hung in the balance. I think there were multiple times that, William almost died. There was a time they thought he was dead, and if he didn't, rally his men soon enough, probably would have been a full-blown retreat. I don't know if, I don't know if the weather was poor and William couldn't use his archers well enough, or was money enough that his men couldn't get up the hill. Anything could have happened. Anyway, casualties for the Normans is 63%. Now for the Saxons, did I calculate the first one correctly? Yeah. 4798 divided by 271. 39% casualties. God fuck damn this bullshit. Anyway, thank you for watching again. I guess if you have any way that how I could have fixed that, uh, put it in the comments. If you got a scenario in mind, either for Medieval 2 and any of its expansions, or for Shogun 2, or for one of the Warhammer Fantasy Total Wars, put that in the comments as well. And I'll see you next time.